Hey, what's up everybody? This is Virginia, the Buckeye Gamer, and I am back actually with a response video that I've been wanting to make for a little while. In this topic, if you didn't already see the title of this video, my game collection is worthless. Again, and this is in response to a video that was posted a couple weeks ago by fellow YouTuber Gamer Ahmer. She has really good content, a lot of interesting topics that she discusses, and definitely go out there and watch her videos, sub to her channel if you haven't already. She has really good stuff, and she's going for a complete Super Nintendo collection, which I think is amazing. So I definitely would love to see her complete that if she hasn't already. If you did, Ahmer, I apologize, I missed it somewhere, but if you haven't, I'm excited for you and I believe you can do it. But anyway, getting back to the topic. So this video, she had discussed about the value of video game collections, and she went in depth with her collection personally and where she thought it was from a value standpoint. And she brought up a few different categories that people who amass video games and big collections like this, where they fall into. Like, are they resellers, or do they own video game stores, or are they purely collectors? Are they hobbyists? Things like that. Now, depending on the category that you fit yourself in there, your collection could hold a different value, depending on where you're at with it. Now, for me personally, as far as what I value a video game collection, again, we're just going to use mine for example, I don't know that I could really put a value on it, only because the games that I have in my collection are games that I know I'm going to enjoy. Now, whether I paid like $1 for them or $50 or whatever the quote-unquote market value is, I don't look at dollar signs necessarily. Now, obviously, I do like to go out and try to find deals and everything, and there are games that I've paid a bit more than I'm willing to admit. I think most collectors and gamers have done that. Those who, collect like retro games and stuff like that. I'm sure there's people out there who spent a little more than they're willing to admit. And, I'm going to come out here and say that, yes, I'm guilty of that. But again, I don't, and I tell people too, that other fellow collectors that I know that maybe they have larger collections than mine, maybe they're a little bit smaller. I tell them, don't look at your collection as worthless necessarily. Now, maybe from a monetary standpoint, maybe if they go to sell everything, it's not going to give them top dollar. It's really hard to say because this market fluctuates so much. But the value, where I put value at for game collections, is if it's stuff that you're going to love. If it's a collection that you're proud of, there are games in there that you enjoy playing, maybe even have a lot of replay value to them. I think in that aspect, a game collection is definitely valuable in the sense of it's something that you enjoy. Not necessarily from a monetary standpoint, but it's something that you enjoy. Maybe when you have friends or family over, they enjoy seeing it and they have fun. And, if you're like me, you have nieces and nephews that come over and they love playing those old games with you and stuff like that. Those are the things that I hold as far as what my collection is worth. That's the stuff that I look at, is the enjoyment that I get, the excitement. When I come in here, I sit down to play a game, like I'm excited, I'm ready to go. I've got, my drink or, water or whatever it is that I'm drinking, maybe a little snack or something, and I'm raring to go for a while, But it's that excitement, when I come in here, or even when I'm out game hunting, and I see a game that I think looks really cool, obviously you do have to use common sense. You don't want to go above and beyond your means, and again, I am personally guilty of that, early on when I was collecting. I think I'm going to make a separate video about that. I want everything out in the open. But you definitely don't want to go above and beyond your means. And I know people, again, including myself, that have done that. And, where does that put you necessarily? I mean, is that game that you bought, like, is it really worth the price tag? You know, you go out there and you find this really rare game that's $300-400 or more. Is it really worth that much though? You know, is it something that you're going to sit down and enjoy, or are you just getting it like, hey, look at me, I've got this super expensive game, you know, it's gonna make my collection so much cooler. You know, I see it on YouTube all the time, that these people who do that for the attention and the notoriety, it's like, that game sucks. Like, I'm sorry, but I see a lot of games that, you know, on paper, they seem valuable. You know, you go into stores, it's a couple $100, or you go on eBay or Amazon or any of these reseller sites, and it's expensive on paper, but the game is horrible. You know, and you know, and I'm going, some of you already know, I'm going for a complete N64 collection, and some of those harder to find games, you know, they are a little pricey. They're terrible. They are terrible. You know, Super Bowling, for example, it's still on my shelf over there, so I'm not going to run up and get it, but, you know, that game is terrible. It's not a good game whatsoever. But the Nintendo 64 has a lot of nostalgia for me. It was one of my first gaming systems to own when I was a kid, and I just have so many memories for it. And, you know, to this day, the N64 is one of my favorite Nintendo consoles. So in that aspect, yes, I wanted to go for a complete collection. I know that was going to take some time and money and effort. You know, I was prepared for it. But you still, if you look hard enough, you can definitely find deals. And there are, you know, ways to get like reproduction cartridges and stuff like that for, you know, games that are in like hundreds or even thousands of dollars nowadays. So there is always that route too. You know, you can still have the game. It may not be like the original copy, but it's still playable, you know. And I understand that there's purists out there who want like the original real deal on everything. And I understand that. I get it. You know, me personally, if the games were cheaper, yeah, I would not have a reproduction card anywhere in my collection. Everything would be the real deal. But I do have a handful of repros, just because I'm not going to spend $1,000 on a game, you know, just for that notoriety. I'll take a reproduction and say, hey, I got this, I can play it. You know, it doesn't matter to me, and that's more money in my pocket, because, you know, I have to think about bills and, you know, adulting, basically, you know. So there's that. But again, to wrap up this video, and I may have strayed completely off topic from what Gamer Ahmer was posting, because she had hers is really thought out, well scripted. Me, I'm just kind of going on the fly here. But to me, my collection, from a monetary standpoint, is worthless because most of the stuff's not going to leave my house. Now, again, I'm not looking to amass like a humongous collection, I'm not going to have like wall to wall of video games. That's just not going to happen. I want to make sure that I know that what's in my collection is what I like personally. You know, focus on my favorite genres like RPGs, racing and fighting. Those are among my favorites. Now, of course, that's not all that I have in my collection. I have other things too, but that's primarily my focus, and that's what most of my games are going to be, because those are the types of games that I enjoy. And now again, whether I paid $1 for them or, you know, 20, 50, or however much money you put out there, I bought it because I enjoy it. You know, and again, in most cases, I'm not going to go out there and spend several $100 on a game. But if it's affordable, or, you know, if it is something that's a little more pricey, I usually will work out trade deals and stuff like that. But my value on my collection is the enjoyment I get out of it. So I don't look at this thing, again, with dollar signs. I know a lot of people do, but for me, my collection is worth a lot to me, personally. You know, and I have, like Gamer Ahmer had pointed out in her video, she's had people, according to what she said, you know, say, why don't you just sell everything, and, you know, you get more money coming in and things like that. But, and I've had people tell me that too, like, you know, you have valuable things here, go ahead and sell it. And I'm like, no, I'm going to hold on to it for right now. Now, that's not to say I haven't, you know, sold some of my games and what have you, because my game collection has changed a lot over the years. But, you know, if it's a game I played, I'm not really going to enjoy it, and it's not part of a, like, collecting goal necessarily, yeah, I'll go ahead and sell it or trade it or whatever, you know, because then that gives me credit towards something else maybe that I'll enjoy. But yeah, a video game collection basically is worth what you put into it. What do you think it's worth? You know, everyone has differing opinions. Again, a lot of people look at it with dollar signs. I personally don't. So that's my take on that video. Again, Gamer Ahmer, I thank you so much for that topic. You know, like I said, I probably strayed like way off track with what you had discussed, but I just wanted to share my take on that. And hopefully you guys enjoyed this video of me rambling on about whatever. Like I said, I have no script to go by. I'm just going on a whim here. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. And of course, if you did, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and that notification bell. I always forget about the notification bell so you don't miss any of my uploads. And you guys stay safe. Have a great day. And always remember that Jesus loves you. I love you too. And he is real. I'll see you guys next time.